Hi, hello, my name is Brian Ernest. If you couldn't tell by the name listed down below, well, now you know. And apparently you can't read and I can't speak, so we're even. Okay, so, I did just record this video. And I kind of messed it up. Okay, so, if you couldn't tell by the title, where it's here right now, up on top right now, but when YouTube decides to move it, it'll be wherever it is on the screen. Because you know how YouTube is. They like to fix things that are not broken. Like the ad revenue. Because, you know, I just realized that. I mean, obviously, it's common knowledge that Google cares more about the advertisers than they do about the content creators. But that's literally saying the customer is always right and the customer comes first. But when you burn out your employees because the customers, you lose your business. YouTube, your employees, aka the content creators, are more important than your advertisers and how sensitive they are. I mean, you have some advertisements that are more disgusting than the videos they're on. So I've had an ad advocate against gay marriage. I'm not being demonetized anyway, but even if I was, because I said gay, I'm gonna be demonetized. I had an advertisement for like how the gay people are gonna ruin straight marriage, but you know, someone saying fuck, shit, bitch, whore, cunt in their video is not advertisement friendly. I don't understand that. That's something I don't understand. I don't understand. I just don't understand. I'm so fucking annoying. Okay. You like my underpit fat? Underpit? I don't know. We're good. I don't understand this. Like, okay. The reason why I'm doing this is why I'm talking about this. I made a video about how I was underweight, and I was so different. About how I'm overweight, but was severely underweight. Now I'm overweight, and that was heartburn. That hurt. Anyway, the reason for this video, if you can tell by the title listed up above this time, is I got bullied in church. You heard me right, and you read it right. I got bullied in church, and this is why I don't believe in God. No, I'm kidding. There's many factors. That's the reason why I don't believe in the Christian God. And even if I did, he's a spiteful fucking cunt. Now, you can believe in God. You can believe in the Bible, but you don't have to be a fucking cunt. You don't have to be like how he is. You don't have to be like God. He's a fucking asshole. Have you read the Bible? He's a fucking asshole. Fucking killing people for sins they didn't know were sins. I mean, hello. Okay. I'm dumb. I'm not tired. I'm not drunk. I could be sugar high. I haven't had coffee or caffeine in a while, and I just had a liter today. So that could be why I'm acting like this right now. Could be why I'm not tired. Illuminati. Just kidding. Okay. I was bullied at church, and my pastor didn't give a fuck, and actually blamed my sister and I for being bullied. Oh yeah, it wasn't just me who was bullied. Everyone who was part of my family was bullied. I don't understand why. Okay, let's start off with me. Okay, I remember. Okay, before anyone say, well, why didn't you just stop going? Shut up. the reason why I really loved going to church was because we got to feed the homeless. And I'm going to be honest with you, that was the main reason. Also, we got to go to places like Pennsylvania, South Dakota, Cedar Point, you know. As a kid, that was one of the reasons I loved going to church, was for those reasons. Why I hated going to church was because of my church friends. Okay, so when I was going to church, I was very passive. Not passive aggressive. I was not even aggressive. It wasn't even passive aggressive. I was just passive. And okay, so I'm laughing because how sorry of a fucking kid I was. Wow. And I apologize to those who cannot take my cussing. I'm sorry your mom raised such a bitch. And if you don't have a mom, I'm sorry your dad raised such a bitch. And if you don't have a mom or a dad, I'm sorry you were raised as a bitch. I don't have my dad in my life, so sorry if I offend anyone, but yeah, that's kind of mean. I'm kind of mean. Don't be a bitch. I'm sorry. I've had too much caffeine, and I'm blaming the caffeine. I'm normally not this offensive, just with my friends. Probably explains why I don't have any. On to the story, shall we? Okay, so I remember one time we were going up to South Dakota. And, wow, I'm just jumping right into it. I didn't even explain the reason why I stayed going. Did I? Oh, yeah, I did. Homeless people in Cedar Point. But, no, the main reason why I kept going to church was because of feeding the homeless. I really love feeding the homeless. I didn't care about the street preaching part of it. Yes, we were street preachers. I was a part of that annoying-ass group that street preached. Yes, I know. We didn't really hold signs like, you're going to hell. God hates fags. Does he? Does he really? And my bird is cooing. She doesn't do this. Literally, I stopped recording for a few minutes, and she wasn't cooing. And she waited until I pressed record to coo. What? Yes, I'm talking about you. To you too. I am so distracted. I'm easily distracted. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay. We were heading up to South Dakota to go street preach during Sturgis. If you don't know what Sturgis is, it's basically a biker rally. And there are some pretty cool ass fucking people that go to Sturgis. I mean, people hanging out with the boobs hanging out. People out with the boobs hanging out. All they have is a star sticker over their nipple. As a 9-year-old, it was pretty cool. Yes, I said that right. As a 9-year-old, seeing boobies just hanging out, basically just a walking strip club, you know? Just a walking. I'm so fucking white. Like, obviously I'm white. I mean, look at me. I glow in the sunlight. This is not a sun. This is a ring light. This is a $10 ring light. I just blinded myself by staring into it. Okay, we were going up to Sturgis, and so we were all laying down in the bus, which is basically just a big old van. It was like seats for about 16 kids, and I was laying down, and it was basically my turn to sleep on the seat. And so about 4 or 5 other kids decided, why don't we just sit on her? And it wasn't those, well, can you move so we can sit down or so we can lay down? It wasn't like that. No. They were like, hey, let's sit on Mariah. Yeah. This will be funny. No. And so they did. And me being me, at the time, severely underweight, I was 60 pounds underweight up until I was like 15. So, yeah. Me being me, severely underweight, I couldn't breathe. And I felt like they were crushing my body. And they weren't very light kids. When I say I was underweight, they were probably about their right weight and stuff like that. And I was saying I can't breathe, and I was like, my face was into the car seat, and I couldn't breathe. Someone was sitting on my fucking head, so I couldn't move. And it was about 2 minutes, but it felt like an eternity for me. I was just like, I can't breathe. And it took someone 2 minutes to realize what was going on. And it was one of the girl's older sister. She was like, get off of her. What is wrong with you guys? And they were like, it's just funny. We're just having funny games. Haha, right, Mariah? It's funny. I'm like, I was in tears. I'm like, no, I couldn't breathe. And like, oh, come on. And yeah. There was one instance, and I told my pastor, and I'm trying so hard not to say his name because apparently that's offensive to people. Being called out for your bullshit. For being called out for being an asshole. Apparently that's offensive. It's not slander, it's true. It's not slander if it's true. But he said, just kids being kids. He didn't say anything to them. And I remember one time we were at Lake Erie. If you know Lake Erie, you know Lake Erie's fucking disgusting, by the way. At least it was back then. It was full of pollution. There were literally dead fish rising to the surface when we were there. And I was swimming by my pastor because I couldn't swim. And I was standing on my tippy toes. And one of the girls, the psycho bitch, she came over and she pulled me under. And my pastor did nothing. And when I finally got up and it was able to breathe, he just told me to go sit down and her to go sit down for a few minutes. It's just, what do you mean? Why is she not in trouble? He didn't tell her parents, for as far as I know. And she thought it was funny. And I'm pretty sure this kid was freaking a sociopath. I'm pretty sure. There's no way this person was, compared to all the bullies and other people who went to church, this person was not sane at all. You can tell her mama did some drugs. I mean, my mom did some drugs when she was pregnant with me, but I didn't turn out that way. She literally laughed at people being in pain. Paper. Do you mind? Do you mind? Thank you. Okay. That was one. I'm not the only person she's drowned. She's drowned my cousin Erica and my cousin Sabrina when they were younger. And when we told the pastor, he just said, oh, she's just being a kid. So every time we went to him about things that were happening, they didn't get in trouble. But there was one time as a kid, I wrote on a wall in Sturgis with a friend of ours who wasn't really a friend, but I had a crush on him because I was taught that boys bullying girls, they like them, and I believe that. No, don't teach your kids that. He wrote on the wall, and he gave me the same Sharpie he used and wrote on the wall. I got in trouble. I wasn't allowed to do anything for the entire trip. He, on the other hand, was able to do anything he wanted. And I don't really want to talk bad about him because he did take his own life a few years ago. And, yeah. He wasn't that bad off as a kid like the other kids. The way he acted towards me was the way he acted towards every other person at church. So, for him, I didn't take anything he did personally. The other people, they acted like it just towards me and my sister. Whew, okay. There are also a few times when we'd go, to Pennsylvania and other places where I would hang out with mostly the guys. And even when I was a kid with my family, I would hang out with my male cousins over my female cousins because as a kid, I used to always hang out with guys more than anyone. But because of church, I stopped doing that because I was called a whore. Side note, everyone who called me a whore, pregnant before they were 18. No shame to teen moms, but they basically said their own faith. And there's no shame in people who sleep around. There's no shame in people who like to have sex. No shame. But don't insult me for something you're doing. That's just all I'm saying. And I told my pastor about this because I was crying in the van, or bus, whatever you want to call it. I was crying in the bus. And he asked what was wrong, and I said, so-and-so keeps calling me a whore because I'm hanging out with the guys. And he goes, well, maybe you should stop hanging out with so many guys. Maybe they won't think of you like that. I was 12. I have a headache now. I was 12 years old at this time. Wow. I have an alarm going off. Okay. Wow. Water time. No edits. I don't have my computer, so no edit. I'm trying to remember things that were like severe to the point where I would like remember them. But a lot of times it was stuff like that, and they were just calling me and my sister's names and shit. And I remember I one time did it back to them, and I got in trouble. And I don't remember what it was that they did. Oh yeah. This one girl came back to church. We stopped going, and then we came back. And this one girl came back to church, and I was telling people all the stuff that she did to me and my sisters, and she kept saying that she was gonna beat my butt, and my sister and mine's butt. And I told my mom about it, and my mom told my pastor about it, and my pastor told me and my sister that my sister and I, need to learn how to get along with people. He said, you guys need to learn how to get along with people better, or else you're not going to make any friends in life. I mean, he wasn't wrong. I don't have any friends. But I'd rather have no friends than have someone who treats me like shit on the fucking daily. I mean, what the fuck kind of pastor does that? I mean, aside from the stuff that happened to me and my family, about how they were literally drowning my family and me, and aside from the fact that my sister's best friend, who also bullied her, gave away her friendship necklace that my mom couldn't really afford to do. It was like $15 for a necklace that was set, and my sister gave it to her, and she gave it to somebody else. And my sister was upset and asked for it back, and she broke the necklace. I still have the other part because she gave me the other part, which was the frog. I still have that. And my oldest sister, and one of the older girls got into a fight. My sister got banned for life from going to church. The other girl was able to come back after a few months. So when we kept saying that there was favorites in the church, and we got in trouble for saying that, there was. Now look at all your favorites. Now look at the ones you always scolded, who weren't actually doing anything wrong. Like, I'm not gonna say we were perfect kids. We weren't. We were some baby ass kids, I will admit. But compared to what the other kids were doing, like, okay, I have no issue with people smoking weed. But at the time, when we were going to church, it was obviously frowned upon. They were smoking weed. They were into, like, the gangs and shit. And I made a joke about how Latin counts were better than, or not, how Crips were better than Latin counts, and because Southwest Detroit. And they said, do you know what Crips stand for? No, folks. Do you know what folks stand for? Something Lord King Satan? I don't know what it stood for back then, but they bashed me for doing that. And they were like repping Latin counts at church. And you don't know what repping is. It's representing and like throwing up gang signs and shit. They weren't getting in trouble for it. And I told my pastor one time, this was around the time I lost my best friend. I told him I have depression. I was diagnosed with depression. He's like, "What do you have to be depressed about?" I'm just like, in my mind, I was like, I don't know. My best friend just fucking killed himself. I was like, I don't know. I just feel depressed. And he was like, you have nothing to be depressed about. And I'm just like, well, I lived in a drug house. My mom and dad did drugs. My dad chose heroin over his kids. My mom lets her husband abuse us. Yeah, I have nothing. Oh yeah, and then my best friend just killed himself. Nothing to be depressed about at all. Silly old 15-year-old me. That was the last day I went to church, by the way. When he said that, I said I won't be attending church anymore. And then, well, not the last day, but then a few years later, we decided we wanted to go back because we found out that literally after we stopped going, everyone else stopped going. So those kids that were going, they were going to bully us for the sole purpose to bully my sister and I. How fucked up do you have to be to go to church just to bully someone? I don't understand that. But this is a story about how I got bullied at church, not how I grew out of Christianity. That's a whole different story that I don't even know the answer to. Like, there's a whole bunch of things like I just remember. But I hope you guys like this video. If you like my video, please do leave a like. If you love my content and if you want to see more of these storytelling videos, subscribe. And if you have any similar stories or if you want to give your input on it, ooh, I just lagged out. If you want to give your input on any of it, do comment down below and share me your stories about anytime you were bullied or anytime church made you feel very uneasy. By the way, I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care what religion you are. I'm accepting as long as you don't push it onto others. That's all I have for you guys today. So have a B.E.A.U.TIful day, night, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you in the next one.